Alright, Alhamdulillah. Welcome everyone. Welcome, I can side. Everyone that has been here from day one, people that joined yesterday, and we have some that joined today, and those that have been here since day one. Welcome, sisters. I appreciate it, and I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use it as sabab, positive, inshallah. Right, so today is like a continuation of what we discussed yesterday. So this expectation has affected your thinking. Okay? So how does the way you think get in the way? How does the way you interpret your children's behavior get in the way of your parenting and makes you to yet? What I mean here, or the message I'm trying to pass, what I want you to hold on to is that we what's it called? We assume our children's behaviors. For example, maybe when they kind of do something, they throw tantrum, we assume that they are just trying to do it to frustrate us. They are just trying to do it to, the way we think matters. If we look at it in another way, if we look at it, maybe this child needs help or something, then our reaction will be different. The way we think about situation matters. In a live session recently, I was talking about this as well, where I made an analogy like, okay, if someone walks into a place and the person refused to say Teslim to you first, if you are let's even assume you are even familiar with the person and the person is kind of younger than you naturally expect the person to say Teslim to you. But upon walking into that place, upon walking into the gathering, the person did not remember, or whatever reasons, did not make Teslim. Alright? So if you think that the person is just trying to be rude, the person is just trying to be snobby, what's going to be your reaction towards that person? How would you feel towards that person if your thinking is that, oh, this person is just snubbing me? Can you imagine how arrogant? How arrogant? How would you feel? What would be your emotion towards that person? Alhamdulillah, Yasir, with consistency and dedication, Bismillah, you will overcome. I told you from the first day, this is a battle not only between us and her children or her parenting, it's also a battle between us and Shaitan. And when we are angry as well, we can also say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, like I've said earlier. Alright? Because he would not let us achieve what is good. And we also want to achieve goodness, and we will not allow him to be on our way. Just like you are going to farm and there's a snake on the road, if you don't go to farm, you are going to, you'll be very hungry, no food to eat. Let's assume that's the only place to get food. And there's this snake standing on your way. What are you going to do? Go back home without food, or you face it, kill it, and go your way? Alright, so back to what we're saying. I was asking a question. No one is responding. I said, if you like, we are looking at how your thinking affects the way you behave, the way you interpret people's reaction, the way you it affects the way you behave towards them. So I was saying, someone enters into a gathering and then you the person did not say Teslim, did not greet you, and you feel the person is lower, younger than you, and they should say Teslim and they didn't. Okay, if you perceive that person's behavior to be rude, in your thinking, if you think the person is just rude, trying to snub you, trying to, how would you think? Thank you. Oh, I didn't see that, I missed it. Thank you. Upset. Jazakumullah khair. Okay, you see, she said me self will become cold me, especially when I'm also approaching the person with a good smile. Exactly. So what if you now think, if your thinking was that, okay, probably she's having a hard time from where she's coming from, probably it wasn't intentional, probably her eyesight is bad, probably she didn't even see me, probably her mind is not here, probably she's thinking, probably life is lifing her, so to say, like life is getting a hold of her, giving her various numerous excuses in your thinking. How are you going to, perceive her at that moment? What would be your reaction? What emotions really would take over you instead of being upset, being cold? What would you do instead? If your thinking was sympathizing, like giving her excuses, probably, maybe she's just, someone has just upset her, maybe life is just getting at her. Wa alaikum salam, Yusuf. Wa alaikum salam, sisters. Welcome. So, what if you are, exactly. Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. So, you say the Slim to her and kiss close, and you go and embrace her. And by the time you even find out, you realize probably for real, you see, that's just it. So, that's just a simple analogy. When our children behaves, list out those behaviors that makes you yell at them, that makes you get angry. Oftentimes is our thinking. So this is like an upgrade of our expectation. Our thinking, the way we think, also affects us. So if you see their situation in a way, wa alaikum salam wa Aisha, wa alaikum salam everyone, right? You see, you said you call her and all of that, okay? So our children, sometimes let's assume that, um let me see what example can actually come here quickly. I assume, for example, if you think that, okay, because your child, maybe your 2 year old, just what is, just name one naughty thing these children do or something like that, and you are thinking that their act is to make you angry, to make you upset, to just get at you, then you would naturally get angry and yell. I don't know if you are getting this gist. The point is that you should not be, the Prophet ﷺ has warned us against assumption, assuming, you are not sure. These are thinking affect us with our spouse as well. You need your spouse help. In fact, not only spouse, it's a day-to-day thing. You need someone's help. Someone is beside you now and you are trying to fix something, and you are feeling like, you are thinking that, can this person see I need help? Can't this person help me? Instead of you to jejely ask for help, you are still thinking that, can't this person see that you need help, instead of you to ask that, please help me. Simple, straight, problem solved. You understand? Aha. So to our children as well, you are thinking that they should know, you are thinking that they are just doing it to upset you. In Yoruba we sọ ọmọ yẹn kàn fẹ́ mú mi nú, kàn fẹ́ múnú bí mi ni, that is, the child just want to get on my nerves, the child just want to get me angry. Whereas that's not the case, especially for younger children. They are also trying to get their emotions right. They are also trying to figure so many things out. Again, our duty as mothers comes in for us to detect what exactly the problem is. For your child that could talk, you could detect it by asking simple questions. And for the ones that are yet to talk, double duty is for you to calm down and observe the situation. Look at the last thing that happened and look at what evolved after that. And when situation like that reoccur, look at it. Don't be um don't let your thinking be negative, putting on the red hat always. Look at it. What if? Do you used to ask that question? What if? What if my child is suffering from this that makes him do this? What if my child lack language to express the way he or she feels that makes him throw tantrum? Why then don't you teach the child vocabularies to use to express themselves? This is also a major course in a major masterclass in the Mom's Haven, Emotional Mastery for Children. You teach them the language, their feelings, that they would be able to express themselves. Your thinking is actually like 80% of what causes you to yell, because you can't just get your head, you're just, why did haven't I told this child yesterday not to do this? Why is this still doing it? You understand? Why don't you think probably the way you have told the child hasn't gotten it yet? There are some of us that some concept that they will teach us 1 million times before we get it. Why then do we think our children just once that we said it? We not even say it clearly. Oh. Probably we say it out of anger, that it was even like you doing bzzz in the ears of your children, and you expect them to grab the gist. Sometimes you are calling out at them and you're like, can't you hear that I'm calling him? Why don't you drop what you are doing and try to see whether they are even within range where they could hear you? There are so many things that cause us to yell, that it is from our thinking. Like it started. The whole beginning is from the way we think and perceive the situation. So can you think of one situation that your thinking has actually affected the way the way you reacted, the way you yell? So how you interpret your child's behaviors really matters. You go out, your child throw tantrums and you think they just want to embarrass you, instead of you to think another way, like, okay, this child is still little, she doesn't understand this concept yet, she's trying, maybe her diaper is wet, maybe she needs, maybe the sun is too hot, maybe you should, the way you interpret their behaviors affects you. It causes you to yell, it causes your emotion. So mothers, you should learn how to separate your children's behavior from your own feelings. They are two different things. Orí ẹ̀ wú ni, like Yoruba will say, his head is swelling. So you have to look at the root cause. Why is he crying? You have to go to the grass roots. Where did the like, when did the crying start? What causes you have to detect. That's it. Because the child needs something, whether we have detected what it is or not. Crying is just like you yourself. When you are happy, there's a way you feel. When you are sad, there's a way you feel. When you are anxious, there's a way you feel and react. When you are guilty, there's a way you feel and react. There's a way our body talks to us about our emotions. So if you are in you know I know you would have known that now from emotional mastery session. Okay. However, also this goes to our children, but it's more difficult because they can't talk. Children children children, because they can't talk, but when we calm ourselves down and we realize that okay, there is something, probably there is something affecting this child, why don't I take my time to say it? Maybe what he needed was not sorry. There was a day I didn't know something caught my son's finger. He can't talk yet as at then. So even till now he's not really clear, but at least it's better. So he was crying. I was saying sorry. He was like, he's still crying and pointing until I got there, saw the hand, so I understand it. So he just wanted me to understand that sorry is not what I needed now. There's emergency you need to attend to. I don't know if you get the gist. But if I just insist on sorry, so come on, leave me alone. I've said you sorry. You know the cry will continue. I've not even understood what actually happened. I don't know if you get the gist. So you is for us to go this one, his own might not be as simple as that, you understand? It might be something from within. Wallahi, it happens. It might be something from within that maybe is not comfortable somewhere, but you are yet to discover it. And maybe sometimes it's happened that maybe they are addicted to something at a time. It might not be something negative, it might be that maybe at the time of the day there's something they used to do. So maybe that day that thing has not happened, and they're just trying to remind you that's their language to communicate. There must be something behind that cry. It's only pregnant women that cry without any reason, right? When the pregnancy hormone starts acting up, a pregnant woman can cry without having a reason. You just find yourself crying. Okay? You see now. You said you want to put clothes in the machine and you said no. So that means there's a reason. You can just create a way that it will also be involved in the process of wash. It's not too, especially if it's a front loader, it's not too young to help you now. Let him start working. It's good though. You see assistant, personal assistant at that, and you are rejecting the offer. This is where it starts. When you now need the offer, now the offer did not come, you now be angry that time, abi? Okay, let's continue. So crying is the number one communication tool, like default, anything cry. So we are the one that would actually, you shouldn't welcome it actually. Yes, you shouldn't welcome it. Teach them what to do instead. You have to teach them to communicate. In this house, oh, crying is not a communication tool. What you want that you should explain and say and communicate. You understand? Okay. So and all of that. So are we getting the gist? Today's session, I don't want it to be too long. I have something to catch up with, inshallah. So please respond well so I would know we are together. Okay, I cry after bath at times. Subhanallah. Okay, you don't want him to mix up the clothes. Excuse me. If you don't want him to mix up the clothes, you have to create the environment that will accommodate you and that champion that wants to help you. Barakallahu fi. So our thinking. So look at this situation of this mommy with baby crying for helping to sort clothes. So the way you see it will also affect the way you approach the matter. If you see it as a way of okay, it's an opportunity for him to exercise and also my food that he has been eating, let him also participate in the duty. You will create a way, that it will make your work easier. It wouldn't get in your way of doing laundry with ease. But if you are seeing it as it's disturbing you, the whole matter will get complicated, and you keep getting angry and all of that. But if it's inevitable, we have to think of how to make things work and make things better. All right, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. So let's shift our mindset. Let us always think of, okay, now Bilal has done this. Think what, um you know what, don't think like negative, negative, negative. Think of way out. Think of discovering the root cause of that thing. Don't always have this negative, thoughts, not only to your children. Wallahi, this simple thing I'm talking about, if you can implement it in all your life, wallahi, you will have a peaceful life. You will not always be interpreting things negative, negative all the time. Your mind, your heart will now be heavy all the time. So person has gotten on your nerves. So person. Stop assuming. What you are not clear about, try to understand. If don't assume somebody, you might be thinking, maybe I got the gist of what you are, the signs and the body language you are trying to pass. I mean, I don't understand anything. Instead of you to be assuming that it's because I don't want to help, I don't want to, you will explain. Speak up that they should hear what you want. Life gives you, like my this is the word of Afa chemistry, that life gives you what you negotiate. Like life gives you what you ask. It is what you ask that you will get. It is not what you are thinking that you should, you are still thinking that they should know, that they should, who should know? Abi you should get up and ask what you want, talk, think, be proactive. Don't be thinking like I don't know. Well, don't let me go there because Allah only understand. So in this case, we are talking about our children. So this really affects us, the way we think of what they do. If you are not ready to give what the child is asking of, it is not a bad thing. Instead of the way to handle that is, instead, most of us, we want to do this like, I'm not giving you, get out of my sight, right? And you can always calmly and explain, like, there should be a reason why you don't want to give them this, maybe probably that's your limitation, that's your boundary. Say it out. Don't assume that they should understand this. I won't give you for so reason, and I will not give you until, or maybe, you have to be clear. State it clearly. Let them know, let them be aware. No matter how hard they cry, you understand. Wallahi, even a baby, as time goes on, when they look at your face, they look at your expression, they will understand that, okay, this is a no-go area. At some point, they will quit. And you can also learn to distract the children to something else. You distract them with something else that might interest them, that will take their mind off what they're saying. Wa alaikum salam, sister. Welcome. Are you getting the gist? We should always think of a way to, as in, thinking is something people don't want to do, and you should do it. If you don't want to give your child something today, he cries about it, it goes ugly, tomorrow it happens, you should think of, okay, how will I make it better? How will I make it better? What can I do tomorrow if this situation happens? Wallahi, we don't think, and thinking is something we should do, even as Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even encourage us to think as well. We should ponder about the creations of Allah. When we think about something with the guidance of Allah, bi'idhnillah, we see a way out of it. So when situation like that happen, instead of losing our minds, it happens today, tomorrow, just sit back and think, okay, this child has been, what can I do to move out of this situation? And it will go back to yesterday. Is it our expectation Then work on it. Is it something? Work on it, and all of that. Okay? Wallahi, it is actually very easy to distract. In fact, it works well, except you don't know your children. You yourself know exactly what you are going to do that will distract a child from that thing. Sincerely. Sincerely. Okay? So it's just our own efforts to comfort ourselves and our determination. Oftentimes most of us we give in to their will, and you see consistency is a key in this case. If you are not consistent, today your child cries, you said no, they cry, oh, they you know, whatever it is that they do, then you start, you start feeling sad, you start feeling sorry, and you give in. You have break that thing. Then your word, yesterday we said your word should be golden. Your words should be gold when someone gave you a feedback. I said it, I mentioned it yesterday. So now, if you've done that, you have broken the gold in your words, and your children will not take you seriously. You have to be firm. You have to be without screaming. That is when your words will hold water. If you say you're not going to give them and you later give them, you are just shooting yourself in the leg, because tomorrow the same sequence will happen. But if you are firm today, firm tomorrow, he or she will understand that, oh, mommy would not give me. So consistency will help you achieve that. Okay, but that consistency is what is hard for some of us. And once you give in, your children will think that once they do that, and it might not be cry. The older one, those ones, they will use sweet talk. Oh, you are the best mom in the world. Oh, you are this, you are that. And if you fall for it, that's it. No matter how that sounds to you, you have to hold yourself together like, no, I have to be firm. What about the child that has been curious of most things he saw in the process of that he spoiled most of the things he lays hands on? So our thinking, some people will think maybe this type of child now is just a destroyer. Probably he has not been taught on how to effectively keep things. And it also depends on his age. If he's a little small boy, take things that is going to break out of his reach. But if he's a bigger child, you should after training him and he still doesn't, then he should face the consequence of his action. He should be responsible. He should be responsible. This one is old to a large extent, so you should start teaching him. But the first thing first, before the training, you should take some things out of reach, then start training him on how to make things, how to jealously guide things, and not, you dive different way to do that. All right. Well, it depends on the way you apply it though, and the age of the child, and what you want, and how you go about the whole thing. So the whole full scenario will be able to solve the situation. I have left and joined several times to know that we are missing it. What's going on, Umiyasa? I don't know. Maybe she should turn on and or she should turn off and on her network again. It might be possible. May Allah make it easy. Well, it depends though. It depends. But it actually works well for me. And like I used to say, you are in my private membership, so you would have known not all rules work effectively for all children. You understand? So you might apply this tool for Taye and it doesn't work for Kehinde, you understand? Aha. So you have to know which works for who. That is why we should think. That's what we are talking about, thinking. So instead of getting angry, like, can't you, you just think of, try this. There's, if you keep trying, you keep thinking, wallahi, you find out a way that works, the one that works for your child being in law. May Allah make it easy, inshallah. So, do we get the day of the gist? So, henceforth, you don't really have a task to submit today. The task for you today is to change your thinking. Don't always see negativity in what your children do, what they do, their actions. You are just thinking maybe they are just trying to be rude, they are just trying to be annoying, they are just trying to be, list all those tag that our thinking has given to them. And let me tell you one powerful thing: the way you think of your children is powerful, and you are going to be seeing what you think of them in them. I don't know how that works. I don't know how it happens. If you think frustrating, all you will be seeing is frustrating, like a frustrating child. It will block your mind to seeing other things. If you think annoying, you will be seeing annoying and they will be acting annoying to you. Think positive of your children and you'll be seeing positivity. Think well of your children and some of you are already thinking that my child cannot listen until I yell. If you think that way, then that's it. Then that's it. If you think that being in law, my child will listen to me, my words are gold, you would see it. Your thinking is very powerful. Thinking has changed good children to bad children, and thinking has changed bad children to good children. Please have a good perception of your children. What you think will dominate. What you think is what you would see, and this will affect your emotions. What causes you to yell is your emotions. So, being in love, from tomorrow onward, I think we are going to be talking about you, your emotion, your mental health as well. What are those things that are getting you yourself triggered? And let's see who owns the problem, you or your child. Sometimes some of the problem is not even theirs, it's our own problem that we need to solve, our own personal problem that we are taking on to them. Okay, may Allah is our affair. So for today, strive and work on your thinking. It will change the game for you, bi'idhnillah. So I'll answer one or two questions, inshallah, and I'll go off the call. So today we said, how does your thinking get in your way? And that's what I've been explaining. How do you think of your child's behavior? Is what you would see the most. How do you interpret them in your mind? Is also what affects you. Oftentimes, most of the time, we have negative feelings, and that's what makes us get hungry and make us, what's it called? Make us yell, because yelling in itself is not something that comes by itself. You understand? It's something that is your way of expressing your angry emotions. You understand? Wa alaikum salam mutmaina. Welcome. Okay, you are on point. I think I have a case study, right? So many cases to prove this actually, but I don't have time today. I actually want to rest early today, beginning. even though no one came with water, and I can see all those ones that promised me they were coming with. Oh, in fact, I have to believe. May Allah is our faith. Our thinking, wallah, is very powerful. And like we've said, Shaitan is there for us, sitting down. And what he is good heart, is making those negative things creep in our minds. Me, I don't want that one, I want water. Thank you. But do you know that children have this thing in them that they keep on doing what you ask them not to do? Yes, human. Did you know the Surah to Rahman. Did you know the people Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala naturally, like originally, um oh god, the sababun nuzul of that surah, did you know it? Did you know those who the surah is directed to? Did you know who the surah, like the main people that Allah was talking to? Hey, Allah himself repeated himself severally throughout the Quran. Because we don't listen, we are human, akimangboron. Hey, God should not make us goats. We don't listen as human generally. Allah said it several times. Fabiya alayi rabbikuma tukaziba. Which of the favor of your Lord will you deny? Ha! Be that they will tell one thing, another thing that we'll be doing. Today alone, I don't know how many of us that we have gone against one or two things. It might not be major thing, oh. It might not be major thing. But there might be some things that our husband have told us today that we are going against. When we were young, when we were children, how many things our parents told us that we will go against? We are saying we cannot raise perfect children, that's the fact. But you have to raise children that will take your word and respect you, you understand, as their parents. So how did the question now comes? How did you tell the children? In what way did you tell the children? How is your words to these children? You understand? So your how, wallahi, sometimes we don't have a good way of presenting issue ourselves. And your how too matters, the way you do it, the child's age, so many things have to put into consideration. So our thinking still matters. So I think someone said, ma, I can't really explain to you my situation. My sister's daughter stay with me, she does listen to any instruction. She does or she doesn't. She does listen to any instruction. She's learning now, but whenever she goes to school, she will be dirty herself, tear her bag, books. I can't really explain sometimes. I just try to control myself, but she keeps making me angry. This one now, there is a lot of things to learn. What has happened while the child was growing up? That is one. Number two, exactly. Number two, there will be surrounding situation actually. There will be surrounding situation. So this one now is a special case that needs a special attention. However, if we think that the child cannot change, then that's the way the child will be forever and ever. But if we think that okay, this child needs help, and we look inward and we look at it that okay, where is the problem coming from, we calmly look at it, because when there is problem we want to solve it from the up, the one we are seeing like this with our korokoro eyes, that is steering back, oh, is doing this, oh, is dirty, oh. But that's not the real problem. The fact is there will be some like the roots that you need to go and uproot. That's what you have to work towards and look inward to. May Allah make it easy. There will be so many things like attached to this situation. Aha. So may Allah make it easy and ease our affair. I used to say something that we can't expect to raise children that would, they will always obey us, they will always do this, they will always do that. However, we want to raise responsible children that they will know what is right from wrong. Children that can be by themselves and be able to make decisions. You can't, nobody is perfect. The fact that we are human means we are not most of we have some of us that if we say we should go and start digging down, when we were growing up, let's just leave it there like that. So back to the topic. If a child is not listening, there are so many things attached to it. It might be that your words are not golden enough. Your child doesn't respect your word, so you have to work towards that. You have to work on that. It might be that the way you communicate, the child is not actually getting the gist, and so many other factors. So you want to think positive, stay positive, and see how you can help the child, because children have to learn to listen. You understand? Children have to learn to listen. You get it? Is they have to learn it. We are in a society where you have to learn to listen. To grow up, they have to listen, but that doesn't mean once in a while they wouldn't want to show their human in them like we also do. So there's no perfect anybody or any child anywhere. Aha. Realize is our face when they are not dummies at all. We need to change our perspective. Wallahi, wallahi. May Allah make it easy and put barakah in our face. Alright, I'll be rounding off in a few minutes' time if you have one or two things to say. So, have you missed from day one? I am nice enough. I'm actually providing you with a replay. Go through them, bi'idhnillah. After the challenge is over, the replays will go, bi'idhnillah. And there will be some other people that will come back to pay for it. And you might also be one of them, or if you did not do what you're supposed to do now, you might come back to pay for it as well. All right. And all the other tools to support you fully to get the results you desire, be the law, they are available for you in the private haven, be the law, the membership. Yes, the replays are above there, they are pinned above, so you can catch up with the replay now. As soon as this challenge is done by Saturday, and we have a finale, like whatever it is on Sunday, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Let's see how it goes. May Allah spare our life till then and beyond. I mean, but it's naturally supposed to end on Saturday. So, may Allah provide us all with halal risk. So if you want to upgrade to the my private membership, so you can also you want to help your children master their emotions and all of that, um and other tools available for your parenting. But trust me, I'm telling you, if you take this challenge seriously with positive mindset and you follow through every day, you write them down. I'm very sure there are still some of us that they refuse to do the first day challenge, they refuse to do the second day challenge, and here we are talking about thinking. They're already still thinking that what is this one saying? And the thinking that I'm saying is naturally coming up again. You understand that gist now? Later, now say, if you follow this process, be in Allah with prayer, sincerity, and your hunger to change, like you want to break that circle, like it is enough. Yelling is not working, fa. It's not working. If it's working, then we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here talking about it. It is not even working anymore. It will only cause more damage to the work you are doing. It is something you want to ditch like 100%. May Allah make it easy. Don't forget your dua. Stay positive no matter the situation. Think about how to move out of the problem, and Allah is your strength, bi'inillah. Put in your own work. There is a process to everything. Put in your own work and rely on Allah Azza wa Jalla for the results. Trust the process. Don't move from one process to another. That's another mistake most people make. You have a mistake, you have a roadmap, you are not following that one fully. You are now gambling from one to another. It will affect the results you want to get. So, may Allah make it easy and grant us success in this world and the near hereafter. Alright, the Homeschool Starter Toolkit is still here available for you to help you whether or not you homeschool full time, to help your children learn effortlessly at home, inshallah. You can either get the combo for 8,000 naira, or you get the homeschool starter toolkit for 5,000 naira, and the teach your child to read at home also for 500 naira. But when you get the two together, 5,000 naira. But when you get the two together, you get them for 8,000 naira, inshallah. Alright, so that will be it for today, and I hope you got one or two things. I would love to hear your feedback. And after now, we are focusing on us, our own development, our own growth, our own emotions. We want to undo that. We've talked about how your thinking affects your expectations of your children. So now, what causes us to get angry? You know, who owns the problem, the children or us? May Allah make it easy. I'm not hearing your feedback. Is it that you've not gotten anything from today's session? I've been talking for almost 1 hour. So give me feedback. Oh. But some people still did not give me water. They are just there. They are like you, They're asking for water. No water for you. At least give me good feedback that will give me energy to come back here tomorrow. It's not easy, man. All right. Take care. See you. I'm looking forward to reading from you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanakallah.